Hey everybody, and welcome back to another installment of the Talks A Lot Boys present This Month in Music for the month of August 2020. I am your host, my name is Tyler, and I'm once again joined by my wonderful cohorts. We got Kyle.
Oh, what's going on, everybody?
And we got Brandon.
How's it going, folks?
We're back at it again. Second episode of our monthly music reviews of new and exciting tunes that are hitting the airwaves in our ear holes and making us happy and not happy. And we're going to talk about it all. So, still getting used to doing the intros for these because I've only done it once and I have nothing written down. So as per usual, we're gonna kind of do this the same way we did the last one. So we're gonna start off with our albums of bands we follow that dropped, which, holy fuck, there was a lot. I mean, I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, like, what a fucking month.
Absolutely.
For
this
music.
was like an album-heavy month for sure, where I think
For
last
sure.
month might have been a little bit more in the singles realm. This is holy albums.
Oh, I know. It's like everyone and their mother just dropped an album, like, most of them just dropped them on the same day. Like, August 7th, I was just drowning in albums. Like, what, we had Stan Atlantic, we had Slaves, we had Good Tiger.
In Heart's
There's
Wake.
this one band, this one, like, indie pop band that I follow that dropped an album that day. Most of which had already been released in singles, but still. I mean, Good Tiger literally was all released.
They literally released the entire album.
Can we just dive into that, like, right away? Like, Good Tiger
Sure.
literally released an entire album of singles, and then we're just like, it's an album today, officially. You've heard it all, but here it is, in one place.
It was really good, though. It was cool.
It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Because, like, their last album, I mean, I'm not going to say it was bad, but, like, it didn't hit me as hard as, like, I can't remember what the hell their first album's called, with, like, you know, Where the Birds Are and, like, Where Are the Birds?
It's
A Head Full of Moonlight.
Head Full of Moonlight. I knew Moon was in there somewhere, but I didn't remember the rest of the...
Yeah, which was... It's only 9 songs, but, like, damn, like, they're all good.
Yeah.
But, like, We Will All Be Gone, like, it was good, but it just didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even really listen to that album a whole lot. I think I listened to it once, and I went back and listened to the first song off the album a few times. I think it was the first song.
Yeah, The Devil Thinks I'm Sinking.
Yeah. But, like, the rest of the album I never really went back and listened to at all. And that's nothing against it. Like, I don't think it was bad. I just preferred the first album. But I definitely think that this new album was superior to the second album for sure.
Yes.
Like, I've been jamming this shit pretty heavy. At least as much as I can in between all the other shit that dropped this month. But I don't know. It's a good album. If y'all haven't listened to Good Tiger before, hit him up. The man's got pipes. Like, they are some talented dudes.
Like,
They
legit pipes.
As someone
Yeah.
who is not an avid listener of Good Tiger, it's pretty damn good. I like it a lot. I'm definitely going to become an avid listener because it was pretty tasty. I definitely think I've liked some of the other stuff I've listened, because I've listened to them like once or twice before this album came out.
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff, and I definitely like preferred that over this. Not that this was bad. I was just like, this came on and I went, oh, Good Tiger. And then I listened to the song and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the other stuff I've listened to before. A little bit. And it's not that this wasn't good. This was still good. It just didn't hit me the same way that it has before. But
Oh, sure.
you know,
Yeah.
it was still a bop, still something I would not be disappointed to come up on my shuffle if I were it were to shuffle into my life. So
Yeah.
I give it a good old thumbs up for this month. That was good. That was a good old tune basket. That's what albums
Can we
are
refer
called
to albums
now.
as tune baskets now? I like that.
Tune baskets.
We
We
coined
got
that.
EPs, LPs, and TBs. Tune baskets.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take this tune basket on a fucking picnic.
Heck yeah.
Just go take the wife and the kids up the mountainside, find a nice grassy knoll, and just crack open this tune basket with the fam.
Holy gosh.
Could you imagine like bringing like a boom box like out to like a park and like you have like your blanket spread out with like all like your food and shit. Next thing you know, like You're bumping like Good Tiger, and your kid's like dancing in the fucking like in the foreground.
It's a wicker boombox too, because
A
with
wicker?
like a big old handle.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be one of those ones you can like put up like hold over your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
But if it's wicker, then it like kind of sits in your shoulder a little weird, and you're like, ooh, But like it's groovy enough that it kind of like soothes those pains, and it's just like an all around good time.
And the bass blasts super hard, and just like tiny shards of wicker getting shot out at you and like giving you wicker shrapnel. But it's totally worth it because the tunes are so fucking bodacious.
Ooh.
That tune basket. Damn.
So speaking of fat tune baskets, my man, there's some other tight shit that came out this month. I think it's fair to say we could just skip over the Slaves album and Stand Atlantic album since we did like full on hour-long reviews of both of them that y'all can go listen to in the links that I've placed somewhere. Because we went really hard in depth on those albums. So I don't, just due to the fact that there were a million other things that came out this month, I don't really want to waste time talking about those any more than we already have.
Oh yeah, we went so in depth that a fist fight almost broke out.
Facts.
Yes, that's actually true. If we had been within like range to cause physical harm to each other, we probably would have.
Oh my gosh, I would have played something super heavy and then just opened a pit.
I would have opened a pit on your face, Brennan.
Whoa!
Oh, Kyle, you don't want this.
Brennan, one day we will meet each other in the pit, and I'm so ready to die.
Well, you better be, because someone
I've
is.
been killed by Brennan in the pit. We've told that story before, but still.
I am marginally thicker than Tyler. I'm sure I'd still crumple just the same. I don't think I'd stand any better fight.
Oh man,
that's your weight class officially, is marginally thick.
Marginally thick.
I want that to be like on my physical, like marginally thick,
like on the BMI chart, like where it's like morbidly obese and like
just below,
like anorexic, like right in the middle is like marginally thick.
It's like just that tiny little area above like a healthy place. It's marginally thick.
It's like and he's not obese, but my man likes pasta.
Hell yeah.
So I had a lot of albums that came out. I'm sure all of you did too. Mm-hmm. Who wants to go first with an album that they want to talk about?
Oh shit.
Not everyone all at once, please.
I mean, we all like each other too much. We're all waiting for each other to jump on that one. You know
what? I'll just go first.
Then. Oh gosh, dang it!
Yes, second, I guess, because I kind of already did go first with the Good Tiger thing.
Right.
It's a good month when two of my top 3 bands release albums, and that was this month. Obviously, we talked about the Stand Atlantic one briefly. We're not going to talk about that, but State Champs, my boys. I guess it's more of an EP, not an album, but they released a new acoustic EP, and I really, really, really liked it. I'm a sucker for acoustic shit. I really loved their first acoustic album from like years and years and years and years ago. But my only complaint with it was, man, those 2 original songs they made for this were so tasty. I wish the album was like primarily just new acoustic songs and not just acoustic covers. And that's what they did this time. There's like a couple acoustic covers of songs from their last album, but they have like 4 new songs, like completely new songs that are just acoustic, and they're all just so tasty, man. Like, I threw some of them on my my playlist for y'all to take a look at, but oh man, that album I think is the one that I've been listening to the most. Just because I'm a sucker for State Champs and I'm a sucker for acoustic shit, and that's just 2 of my favorite things wrapped in one hot pocket, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. I definitely, every time this, like when I was listening to your playlist, as I said before, I'll say it again, I don't own Spotify Premium, thus I must shuffle through these playlists. I don't have an option. Whenever the State Champs songs did come up, which was just kind of randomly throughout, I was like, nice, because I really do love State Champs acoustic shit. Not that I don't like their other stuff. I love their other stuff. I love State Champs. But their acoustic shit was very nice. I very much enjoyed them. And I will say, Tyler, I noticed this month's playlist for you is very chill. Very like a lot chiller than last month's. There's a lot of good little soothing, sit back, relax, put the window down, chill, drive along the highway, have a good little sip of your sody pop, and just enjoy a little tune.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I think now that you mention it, like the majority of my playlist this month is just like straight pop music for the most part.
There was a song
like some
on there,
acousticy stuff, but I don't think I had anything like just dumb heavy. I think there was like Brennan's was obviously the exact opposite, but like, yeah, I think I only had like a handful of like relatively heavy things, and they were all singles.
Mm.
So we'll obviously get into that later. But yeah, just all the pop people just kept throwing me albums this month, and I was all about it.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised, and it was like I was just listening, and I was like, I listened to Brennan's first, which has become like my ritual at this point. Is I listen to Brennan's, then I listen to Tyler's, and I was listening to Brennan's, and I was like fully ready for the heavy shit, and I got it, and I loved it. And then I was like, all right, Tyler, this is going to be that weird hybrid as it was last month. And then it was like predominantly like songs that I either knew from the radio, which I was like, whoa, hold on. What? Tyler had a song on his playlist?
Off for me, but
yeah.
This is where we're at now, I guess.
I was so caught off guard, dude. And I was like, I won't say what they are, but we'll get to them when you talk about them. I won't spoil it for you. But
I'm assuming some of them were Black Bear.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figured because he dropped the new album this month. So
yeah, and
I had to
good
add
shit.
that.
But yeah, no, I was just like, wow, this month is Tyler's just really chilling. He's really enjoying the end of summer.
Yeah.
He's sitting back and relaxing.
It's just one of those months, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm down for it. And it was a good time. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, I'm glad you did. Because I make these playlists, obviously, only based on what I receive from the people making the music. But I also, I make them with the goal of making you, Kyle, specifically happy. So I'm glad that I succeeded and everyone who made music this month succeeded
Tyler,
in making that a reality.
That's really funny that you say that, Tyler, because I too make my playlist to make you happy, Tyler. How did my playlist make you feel this month, Tyler?
It made me feel like a really good friend. A really good supportive friend who listens to your stuff. I tried. I wanted to listen to your stuff, but it's on Apple Music, and today I was like, I'm just gonna crank it all out. I was gonna do it when we were originally supposed to record this, and then we weren't gonna do it, so I was like, well, I'm gonna do it the day we record it, so it's fresh in my head. And then I opened it up today, and I clicked on it, and it played like 10 seconds of a song, and then it popped. My screen was just like, we're Apple, pay us money or fuck yourself. And I was like, I guess I can't listen to these. Now I know what you're thinking. Tyler, couldn't you just look up the names of all the songs on Spotify and then do it? Yes.
It takes a while.
I didn't do that. But next time, I absolutely can.
Yeah, and you know what? Just because you're going to do that, I might go out of my way and look up the songs from Spotify on Apple Music so I don't have to shuffle it, just so I get to experience what you're experiencing a little bit better, Tyler. To go through that pain,
Yeah, we'll make sacrifices for each other. That's what love is.
We'll put aside time.
Tyler, you're so bad at lying to the poor guy.
Yeah, he's not. Watch him for the next 3 episodes of this. Come in and go, Kyle, I really loved that music you had on that playlist.
I like that song by that guy who makes the songs.
And it's
really
funny
did
because
something for me.
The one song you did listen to, marginally listened to, you didn't even like.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just like I'm not a Joji fan.
That's fair.
Because I think that Pink Guy was the height of his legacy, and my mind will never change. And I heard it, and it started from the middle of the song because Apple was giving me a giant middle finger. So I was just like, what? I can't process this. This is the middle of a song, and then it ended, and then I was just flustered, and I turned it off. So it's not that I disliked it. I wasn't able to take in enough to decide whether I liked it or not.
I did put you on the spot a little bit just because I know you don't like Joji. So, it's my fault. I apologize. But and we'll talk about that song later. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah,
Now
I
you
got
know.
some stuff to add about it.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm excited to chat about it because that's on the horizon too. So
Ooh,
that whole
Joji.
darn album. Hoo.
But
So
right
let's-
now we're talking about albums.
Yes,
and
we
I just
are.
hit you with a few, so it's someone else's turn. Someone else needs to go.
All right. Well,
Brennan, do you want to hit me with one of your albums?
well, I actually have. So for me, there were a bunch of albums that came out this beautiful August of 2020. A beautiful month and probably the worst year ever. But I have a couple highlights I'd like to discuss. Of course, one of them isn't really new. It's actually a live album. And that was from a band called Northlane, where I guess there's a venue in, I think it's in Sydney, Australia. It's called the Roundhouse. And they played like a bunch of bangers that I've been listening to for years, and they played them live, and they sounded incredible. So big shout out to Northlane. Those guys fucking rock. I thought their newest album, Alien, that came out last year, is pretty dope. There was an EP that came out. It was called DCX2 from a band called Diamond Construct. And I think they're Australian too. So like Australia apparently has a lot of like epic bands coming out.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I feel like half the shit I listen to is Australian.
Oh yeah. So I don't know what they're like teaching kids like musically over there, but
Doing
damn,
something
it's fucking-
right, I guess.
yeah. Well, I mean it's just like a 4-song EP, but I mean it was heavy as fuck. I give them that. So,
I enjoyed it though. That was one of the ones that kind of stood out to me on your playlist when I was listening to it. I was like, this shit gets after it, and I like it. I didn't know that those 4 songs were the only 4 songs. Like I thought it was just like you selected a few off of like a bigger album, but that's cool. I guess I experienced the whole thing.
Well, because I think I had one of the songs on last month's.
Oh,
and that was because it was released as a single.
Mhm.
But then I put everything else on this one because it came out this month, even the one that originally came out as a single, which is called Enigma.
Mm-hmm.
The new Point North album was incredible.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, I know that's on Tyler's as well.
Yeah, that was on my list too. That album
shit.
was so good, dude.
It was so good.
Like, and I pretty much like at like the beginning of the month, like end of last month, beginning of this month was when I like actually discovered them. Which quick shout out to Poolside Podcast, because I was on their Discord when I actually heard about this band. Like a bunch of people were like, hyping up the album, and then it came out, and it was just like people were like, "Oh my gosh, like it's so good." And I'm like, "All right, well I might as well check it out." And then it like blew my mind, and I'm like, "Damn!" Like, because it's like nothing that I haven't heard before, but it was done like incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like the chord progressions, like in like the choruses and stuff. Like the singer has decent range. He also has like, it's not like a fluctuation, but like whenever he like softens his voice, like during like verses and stuff, it sounds pretty neat. I mean that was like one thing that stuck out to me. I have the song with Kellen Quinn on my playlist, even though I kind of didn't like Kellen Quinn's feature.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but like the band itself, like the rest of the album, like just like smokes it.
Yeah, I can agree with that, honestly.
Like it was just,
I could too.
and it's like like I said, I don't hate Kellen Quinn, fucking like I like Sleeping with Sirens used to be my shit back in the day, but I have a feeling he's kind of fallen off. Same with their band.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But shit, I got so many albums. There was an album called The Voyages, which came out from a band called Crystal Lake, which apparently they're all like Japanese.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're like
I feel
Japanese.
like I've heard of them before. That sounds familiar.
They are incredible. I actually had a couple of their songs on my last month's.
Okay.
They had a couple of singles. Well, I guess they came out with an album that didn't have any of the singles. It's called The Voyages, and it says re-recorded, so I don't know if like, I mean, I'm new to them, like newer to them. Like I've heard of them probably like 6 months ago, But it's like, I don't know if this album was like released like a while ago and they just like redid it, or like if it's brand new and they were like, oh, we don't like it, let's re-record it or whatever. But damn, it's like, I didn't expect Japanese like hardcore, metalcore, deathcore, like all like mashed in one. Like they're really unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like Parkway Drive meets like the dude has like Phil Bozeman from Whitechapel like growl sometimes. Like he gets like really low. I mean, it's just, I mean, like they're talented, so like definitely they're on the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed them from what I heard on your playlist for sure. They're definitely one that I want to go back and listen to more of their stuff. I mean, like they're heavy, so if you're not into that heavy stuff, steer clear. But I do like that heavy stuff, so I will definitely want to partake in more of their chugginess when I get a chance.
There is one song I would recommend to both of you, and it's called Apollo. And like, because that shit's like, it's like a mixture of like their heavy shit with like some like their softerness.
Mm-hmm.
And like you hear like how like deep they are as like musicians, because like they have really good like chord progressions, and like how the intro is with like the guitar work, and like the screamer also does like a little bit of singing, but it's not like a Tillian chorus. It's more of like obviously the dude's not like talented like that, but like I don't really know. It's like it fits the song, but it's not like super like crazy intricate. You know, like it totally just fits the mood. You know, and like that song, I guess, was like that album was kind of like a coming out party for them.
Okay,
dope.
So really good. Yeah, check out Apollo and check out it's like Aeon, Aeon. If you want to hear like some like pretty heavy shit that's like really like innovative.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're pretty wild.
Added them to my library. I'm excited to listen to them later.
There was an album called Yokai from a deathcore band called Within Destruction.
Jesus Christ, that is like the most deathcore name.
All right,
is it the theme song for Yokai Watch?
I bet you it is, Tyler. No need to answer, Brennan. I am going to believe
little Japanese kids like loading up their Saturday morning cartoons.
They've got their kids meal with their apple slices and their chicken nuggies, and they're just like, all right, let's watch. And then it's just
like fucking growls and pig squeals. Oh my gosh! But they had all right. So I had 2 songs from this album in my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
The first song's called "No Way Out." And that's the song I'll talk about, I guess. The ending breakdown. Holy shit. It like
I feel like I know which one you're talking about, because I specifically remember there being a breakdown that like I was listening to it while I was working out, and I had to like stop what I was doing to just be like, okay.
Was it the one where like they had like it was like me and Tyler love breakdown starters? And like right before the breakdown hits, it sounds like this like little Asian girl like says something. Like I'm not even gonna attempt to.
That was what it was.
Yes.
It like I fucking like dropped my weight. I was like, what the fuck am I listening to?
It's like I'm not even gonna try to like do it, but it's like this little like Japanese girl like says something, and then it's just like double bass like Chug City, and like
I feel like that's a sound clip that's like actually from something.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, the album is like littered with like samples and shit.
Yeah,
and it's like so good. And then like after the breakdown's over, it sounds like it's like a 50s commercial.
Yeah,
It sounds like a 50s movie or something. Yeah,
I definitely remember that now, and I fucking love that shit.
I just remember
it's like once the door is closed, there is no way out. It just keeps on like repeating that shit.
I remember because often Brendan and I end up listening to yours while I'm at work, like delivering pizzas and shit. And I remember I was driving when that breakdown happened, and I like just stopped, like in the road, because I was like, "What?" I was like, "What's happening?"
I specifically remember like when I was listening to it, like I made the Bernie Sanders face. I was just like,
Oh my gosh. I remember the first time like because I was just like scrolling through shit, and like I saw there's this one Twitter page, the dude's called the Red Herring. He's also known as Alan Harrington or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he always like hits me with like legit like what fucking like recommendations of like shit that just came out, and he actually like said like the album was like really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like I saw that was like the most played song on it, and like I listened to it. I remember like during the breakdown, I like stopped it. I took my headset off, and I'm just like, this is like the sampling and like how fast the double bass is going. Like the dude's hitting like freakish pig squeals. I'm like, this is incredible. Like for deathcore, like this band is like legit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one last album I want to talk about. And it's actually an album I don't like. But I featured it on this just because I wanted to talk about them real quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a band called In Heart's Wake. And they were one of the bands that released an August 7th album, along with like Slaves, Stay Atlantic, a bunch of other bands, you know. Musically, like the breakdowns, like some of the instrumental work was like really good, but their vocals fucking suck. Like I can't sugarcoat it. Like the screamer, all right, and he didn't have this problem before. I mean, I guess in the last album called Arc, he started to like sound like it, but he like it sounds like all of his energy is like coming from his throat. Like he's like I mean, like Kyle probably knows what I mean. Like you want to use your diaphragm. Like you want to use like pretty much like the lower part of your stomach, like expand, you know, with air, and then you want to like be able to force that like up through your throat, and like whenever you're screaming, you want to feel like it's coming out of your face. You don't want it to feel like it's coming out of your throat. Like I don't really know how else to like describe it. I'm obviously not like an expert or whatever, but like sometimes like I try to scream, like that's like how I like try to do it. But like you don't want your throat to like strain,
right?
You know. And this dude, it sounds like as if his Adam's apple is gonna like fly out of his fucking throat. It sounds like he's not using his diaphragm. Like he's just pushing like air like from his throat out of his mouth, and it sounds so unhealthy.
Yeah.
It definitely like what to like kind of describe a little bit more. It's like it literally seemed like that scream that you give like after you stub your toe, where it's just like so sudden and just so pushed because you're just like, oh fuck, like it wasn't like thought out at all. It was just like, and there it is. Like I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like they have a song called Worldwide Suicide. And
that might have been the dumbest fucking song I've heard in months.
Exactly.
I know. I was like, why is this on your playlist?
I thought that I was like, this has to be a troll pick. Because like I feel like you literally put this on there just because you hated it, and I was right.
Yeah, you were right. Like Hellbringer isn't a bad song. It's just I don't like the vocals. And of course they have Jamie Hales from Polaris on it as like a feature. And like, you could tell like the stark contrasts and like, okay, this is a guy that knows how to use his diaphragm and he's able to like force air out. Like Jamie Hales, like his resonance is in like the right spot. Like he has so much power behind his screams, and like he's always able to deliver it because he's not straining. While the guy from In Heart's Wake, like I don't know his name, but it just seems like he's trying to like force everything like out of his throat, and it just I can't fucking dig it. But on the song Worldwide Suicide, there's a part where like the breakdown like really hits. And the guy hits like well, he doesn't hit it. He uses what's called pitch shifting. And like to me, like that's just like an instant boner killer when it comes to screaming, especially like as someone who's trying to do like growls. Because nowhere before has he been able to like get this low, and then like immediately after he like hits it, like the breakdown hits, they have like this weird effect where he's like kind of like talking, and it kind of sounds like a monster, like it's all like distorted and it's like coming in and out. You can tell like everything's pitch shifted. But like earlier, like it sounds like he like they kind of wanted it to be hidden, and then like of course like came out with it. But like for me, if you're gonna do those kinds of screams in a song and you can't actually hit them without the help of a pitch shifter, like it just like ruins it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like even like their earlier stuff, like they had an album called Divinations, which came out like 2012 or something. And he was like kind of hitting it, but like not really, because he's always been more of like a mid-range kind of guy. And like I don't know, it just turned me the fuck off. Like it's like I just remember listening to it, and I'm like, And then their clean vocalist, the dude must sing out of his nose or something. Like it sounds like so like nasally, and he's always had like a high pitched, like kind of whiny voice. But like this album, it was like turned up to like 11. And some of the choruses sound like 3 Days Grace wrote them in like 2006. So it's like just no innovation as far as like vocal performance on this record. And that really pissed me off and really like turned me off to the album. But yeah, enough of my fucking rant. That was everything else I loved. It's just that I had to put a couple of those songs on this list just for me to talk about how much I dislike that album.
That's fair. I mean, I can respect that.
That makes a lot more sense now to me, because it was very much like, what the fuck? I was really caught off guard, because it was like everything I was really vibing with, like even though I'm not into like the super heavy shit, like because I can get down with heavy shit, but I'm not like listening to it as often as you guys. And for the most part, I liked a lot of the heavy stuff on your playlist, and then it got to this stuff, and I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. Why is this here?
All right. Well, after my fucking tirade, Kyle, what you got for albums, bro?
Hell yeah, dude. I will start off by saying there was one album that I thought about adding, but like I didn't want to add just because I heard it on your guys's, like I did with Logic's, but I won't break that rule again. And it was Point North's album. Like holy shit, that was so good.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
I don't know if I've ever listened to Point North before, unless maybe you guys have shown them to me like once or twice. But
I mean, there's a chance I might have shown you some of their stuff like a while ago. It's like I feel like I started listening to them like a good 6 months ago, but I was never like super into them. They were just one of those bands I found that I kind of liked, so I saved them. But like until this album, I never was like super jamming them all the time, you know?
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm definitely gonna listen to that album at least, and probably dive into their other stuff, because that album was tasty as fuck. For like both of your guys' playlists, every time one of those songs came on, I was stoked as fuck. And it was cool because like I got to experience them on Brennan's, and then when they'd pop up in Tyler's, I'd be like, yes, let's go. Like I'm so pumped. You guys were like saying like it's not like super different than like some of the stuff that like we listened to, but it was just really good. And like the thing that like it made me like I was feeling with it was like they just brought like such an awesome energy to like that genre of music. Like it was just so just pumping and just moving, and it was awesome. I really dig it. I'm definitely gonna be listening to them more in the future. But as far as my albums go, you know, Brennan, you started off with a live album, so I'll start off with a live album.
Oh shit!
And this one was really, really interesting, because I knew I had a good amount of albums coming out this month, but then out of nowhere, the sweet Corey Henry, the leader of the Funk Apostles, randomly tweets, music coming out tonight at midnight. And I went, what? Whoa. He hasn't put music out in so long. If you've listened, is that posted yet? The one where like we talked about our favorite bands?
Yes.
Yes,
it has been out for a while, yeah.
Yeah, got you. Well, if you listen to that, I talked about them, and they were like semi like mid-range, because I was like, they'd be higher, but like they have one album, and it's disappointing that there's only one album. Not that the album's disappointing. The album's awesome. It's just disappointing. Not the one album's great. Don't get me wrong. No, that's not what I meant. But no, it's just disappointing that they only have one album out. Because I've seen them live, and they're incredible. Corey Henry is just a wizard of funk. And I was like, give me more music. And out of nowhere, he was like, new music. And I was like, oh, what? And I was so pumped. And then I looked at it, and it was a live album, and it had a lot of the same songs that were on their album that's already out. And I was like, oh, okay. But then like the cool thing about Corey Henry and like Snarky Puppy, like I've talked about before, is that when they perform live music, often it's like there's a lot of improvisation going on throughout it, and like they feed off the crowd. So like they'll just like keep riffing on stuff if they're feeling that energy. So like the experiences in that live album are very different than those in their like studio versions of those songs. Often they're a lot longer. Some of those songs are like 12 minutes, 14 minutes long versus
Jesus Christ.
versus the 4-minute long versions on the studio version.
Who has the time?
I do. I love it. I mean, I've seen them live, and my favorite part of their entire show was that the show went on for 2 hours, and then like we all cheered for them to come out for a fucking encore and shit, and they came out and they were like, all right, let's do it. And they went for another hour with one song, and they just all kept taking turns just going off, and we all would just get hyped as fuck because the guitar player would go on a crazy run, and then Corey Henry would respond on the organ, and then the backup girls would like sing and like do crazy tambourine shit. We're like, whoa, it's crazy. And it's just such an energy that the Funk Apostles bring that is so unique to them, that is just so cool to me. And that like getting a live album from them actually was super cool because of the fact that like it kind of harnessed that energy a little bit. Like there is a little time capsule, and it like made me feel those feelings that I felt when I saw them live back in like 2016, I think it was. God, that feels like forever ago now. But heck, the beginning of 2020 feels like years ago. But anyway, yeah, no, I just it pumped me up, man. I was so happy to see that stuff. And I mean, not to bring a sad note to this, I did listen to this on the day that Chadwick Boseman had passed away.
Aww.
And rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. You're an absolute legend. Awesome dude. But like I was pretty torn up. I was pretty bummed. And then I listened to that, and it like still managed to like, you know, brighten my spirits a little bit, and like, you know, I was able to like tap into that harnessed good energy, and it kind of like, you know, rode me through that sadness of that news. So I also appreciate the album for that. It's definitely something that's gonna like stick in my memory, that's like tied to it. But yeah, no, it was, I love that album, man. It is exciting, it is funkalicious, and you should listen to it. Brennan, I know I remember when you were listening to it, because you would text me after songs and be like, this song, dude. And you'd be like, this song, dude.
Yeah, like Love Will Find a Way had one of the tastiest bass lines I've heard in a minute.
Hell yeah.
Like I gotta say, like that was the one song, like, I mean, of course, like it was all actually pretty good. Of course, like the hearing like kind of, it was like jazzy, and like, but it had like a lot more going on than like just jazz. Like it was just like it was funk. That's the only way I could like describe it. It was like old school, like George Clinton and like Parliament Funkadelic, but like way more like instrumentals and like just like coolness going on. But like I said, Love Will Find a Way. That song hit me just because like I'm a sucker for like epic bass lines. And like that song just like fed it to me in spades. I'm like, God damn, all right. And then of course, like you said, like you could tell like for a second, like they're just jamming. Like there's no real like, there's no like direction. They're just like, all right, we're fucking hanging out here for a minute, and it's just like, it's just so funky and tasty, and like, ooh, it was a good album, damn good album, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it, man. And like it's funny because like I was thinking about like when you guys would listen to it, and I was like, there are gonna be times where like they're listening to this, and you're gonna hear the same like little riff go like a bunch of times in a row, and like while that sounds a little weird, like listening to it like recorded into like an album, I like could picture like them like they're like doing it, and every time they do it, the crowd would get a little bit more pumped, so he'd just do it again, and the crowd would get pumped again, and he was like, all right, one more time, and then we'd get pumped up again. He'd be like, you want it again? And then he'd just keep going, and it would be so it was just like the synergy of the room with the concert like that is just something that like no other musical group can bring. It's its own flavor of music that is just so good, so tasty. But yeah, that's one album.
Give us the good news.
Heck yeah, dude. There's two other albums I want to talk about because my other ones are mainly Slaves and Stand Atlantic, which are good albums. you can go listen to those sweet reviews. The one that I don't have as much to say about because I just thought it was pretty sweet, so I tossed it on there and I don't listen to it as much, is by a guy named Freddie Dredd. He's a rapper. He's a really weird vein of rapper. It is a really in your face, punchy kind of rapping. He has a very iconic style. He was really famous on TikTok for a minute. I can't remember what song.
Well, if you've made it on TikTok,
exactly,
you basically just made it in general.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the song is, but I can't think of it. But there's a song that got on TikTok. I don't even think I don't remember what the words are, but it's like, oh, no, that like that.
Oh yeah,
one.
I know that one.
Yeah,
that's the exact
yeah.
lyrics actually. I think.
Yeah. I nailed the lyrics. I know. It's like
fucking mumble rap.
Yeah, I know. I don't. Well, cause like he samples like other stuff that's like really chill, like Japanese female lyrics, and then he just goes really hard over the top of them.
He's just like rapping over the Kingdom Hearts theme song.
Simple and clean, more like complicated and disgusting. Let's go.
Wow.
No. I know. Yeah, that was my best joke I've ever made.
Yep.
It's just like solidify that into
You peaked right there. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, all downhill. Except for my next album is uphill because the last album I have to talk about is, I'm saying it right now, probably my favorite album of 2020.
Wow, that's a bold statement considering the sheer amount of good tunes that have dropped this year.
It is. And y'all know full well it's Jacob Collier. He released Jesse Volume 3. As I've stated before, Jesse Volume 1 and 2 have come out in the past. It's a 4-volume mega album thing that he's creating, with each album with each volume being its own flavor genre of music. The first one was like orchestral. The second one was a little more like torn down acoustic. This one's funky, and it was so good. And like, first of all, right, like a bunch of these songs came out as singles because the album actually got delayed due to, the world. And can I just say that some of these songs, the features on this album are a little wild. Because like there are some that I don't know, like Jesse Reyes, Rhapsody, Kiana Lede, I don't think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. They all were awesome. I thought they were all fantastic when they did the thing. The people that I knew were Tori Kelly, Ty Dolla $ign, freaking T-Pain,
Okay.
and Daniel Caesar. And Daniel Caesar's an R&B soul singer next to like freaking Ty Dolla $ign. I was like, what? And I was like, but here's the crazy thing, right? Because like I don't know a lot about Ty Dolla $ign other than like he's featured in some songs on the radio, and I'm like, cool, whatever. But Jacob Collier actually did an Instagram live where him and Ty Dolla $ign sang together, and they sang like classic songs like Imagine and like all these like classic songs, and Ty Dolla $ign's like singing super soulful, and I was like, what? Wait a minute, am I missing something here? Like, have I like just completely shut my eyes to a beautiful musician? And I have, because like, damn, can he sing? His vocals in the song he's on, which is All I Need, which is one of the better songs on the album in my opinion, he's just like singing his fucking pipes out. It's incredible. I didn't know he had pipes, but he does, which was dope. But no, man, this album is just like the most beautiful concoction of so many different funky, poppy, just it's crazy. It's so weird. The song featuring T-Pain actually has like a moment where it gets a little dubsteppy. I'm like, what's happening? What is happening right now? When the album released, it was the week after the massive wave on August 7th, so it was August 14th. And I was fully like mentally preparing, knew that like at midnight I was going to listen to this album. I listened to this album for 2 hours, just over and over and over again. And I was like going on Twitter while I was listening to it, seeing how people were reacting. I was posting about it. I was super pumped. But like somebody said it so well that I never really thought about before, but like it like just that Jacob Collier is the closest thing we're going to get to another Beethoven. And I know that's a crazy statement. I know it's a crazy statement because like Beethoven is Beethoven, you know.
Isn't he deaf?
That's not the point they were making. Beethoven was not known for being deaf. That's not the main thing.
He kind of was, because that was like a big point they made in school, and they taught you about him.
Then he was also going blind because he used to read a lot of his music by candlelight.
Dude, Jacob Collier's in trouble. He's gonna lose all his. He's gonna be Helen Keller.
That's not what. That's not what
Helen Keller writing fucking orchestras and shit.
That's not the point. That's not the point. I was.
Oh my gosh.
You're comparing it to the music. And it's crazy because, like, obviously that's a really wild statement because, like, obviously we're never going to have, like, the classical, like, Bach, Beethoven, blah, 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 all those people again because that's a bygone age. Yeah, that age of music is gone. So, like, you don't really think about having someone like that again, right? Like, what's the next best thing? Drake? Like, I don't know. Like
Absolutely, that's the next best thing in that order of people.
Obviously, you know that
Drake above
Beethoven,
Bach. I'm gonna say it.
Bach, Drake. But no, it's crazy because like, I was like, that's a really bold statement. Say Jacob Collier's like the next Beethoven. Like, that's the best thing this generation has to like be close to like a Beethoven. And I was like, thinking about it, I'm like, man, this man is like blending genres in a way that really hasn't been done before. Like, not to this extent. Like, the way that he is seeing music, and the way that he is like creating music, the way that people are like even receiving it. You have like mega legends like freaking John Williams, people like these huge musical masters that he is beating at award shows, and then those musical greats are just like, yeah, I knew he'd beat me. His mind is incredible. I'm just like, what? Wait, what? And it's like, he just thinks about music in a different way that, like, I think is pretty damn groundbreaking. And if you're not, like, down to hear some of that, you're missing out on the next wave of something big. Because I guarantee you that years from now, somebody's going to take a music theory class and his name's going to be brought up because he's doing that many crazy things. So I'd give it a listen. The music is incredible in that album. Every single song's a slapper. Some of them are a little weird because they're really like complex musically, but you know, give them a listen. Be a part of this album because I think it's a pretty monumentous one.
I only got to check out a couple songs on this, and I gotta say, it really is like you said, it's so like complex and like different, and so like blending of like different things. Like it really is like a feat.
Yeah, it like. You go to like the orchestra to hear like this complex cacophony of beautifulness, and then like you're getting that in these albums because there's that kind of stuff going on, but sometimes with electronic music, sometimes with jazz music, sometimes with funk stuff, and sometimes it is classical, and sometimes it's just his voice layered like 300 times to create a beautiful rendition of Moon River. Like, it's just it always surprises me, and I'm like, nah, he's done it all. And then he does something new again. And I'm like, all right, I cannot expect what's coming next. It's always going to blow my mind. It is crazy. He's just a wizard. Definitely check him out. He's very nice. He's very good. He's so good.
You know how we said earlier that you made the best joke of your career? Well, you just topped it. You proved me wrong.
Damn.
But like the other one was a joke. This one was just like a reference.
Yeah, but it counts.
Okay, well, if it counts, I guess, you know, whatever. I'll take it. A win's a win, I guess, you know. Heck yeah. Tyler, do you have anything else you want to talk about album-wise? Because there's an album that I know that you put on that I liked a lot.
Yes. There's more albums that are on my list, but for the sake of time, I'm only going to talk about one in particular. And that, I don't know if this is the one that you want me to talk about.
I think it is.
I'm going to talk about. My favorite pop band, probably, of all time, is Paris, and they released a new album this month. And I have to say, in general, every song on it is incredible, as expected, because they've never released a bad song. What's-her-face's voice is just incredible, and I love listening to it, and this album holds up to the previous albums, which I'm happy about. But I do have a grievance.
Oh, do you?
I have a large grievance with this.
I do too, and I want to see if it's the same.
So, The middle of this album is just 3 songs from the previous EP from last year. Now, here's the thing. When I'm listening to it the first time, right? Like, I hear these songs coming up, and I'm like, oh, I guess this album must just be like an expanded version of the EP from last year. And that's whatever. But it's not, because it doesn't even have every song from the EP. They literally just pulled 3 of the 5 songs from the EP from last year and just shoved it in the middle, I guess to fill space, which kind of pisses me off. I feel like I got gypped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And all 3 of those songs are very good, but like, I've already experienced them in the EP from last year that exists. And like, I wanted more new shit, and to me, it feels kind of jarring to just like have the middle of that album just be like part of another EP, you know? Like, that's just a very weird decision, and I don't really agree with it.
Interesting.
That's kind of the same take I have on this album. Because to me, like, it starts off really well. Like, Give Me a Minute, Dead Weight, Stay Gold. Even Good to Be Alive wasn't bad, although it wasn't like my favorite. And then like the middle of the album, like even Loveless, like a newer song, like I didn't vibe with it too much, but like the middle of the album, it kind of loses me because A, I've heard it before, and B, like it's not like too innovative.
Because, I mean, to be fair, I don't really listen to Paris for innovation.
I mean, no, I don't either, but it's like, I mean, maybe it's just because, like, you know, I've heard it before, and, like, it's not, like, different. Like, maybe I should just say, like, different or, like, new. Probably better than, like, innovation. But then, like, then the end of the album, like, the album ends well.
Yeah.
But there's, like, this big chunk in the middle that I'm like, oh, it's, like, the same old shit. Like, I've heard it before.
I mean, like, if I had never heard the EP from last year, like, I would have no issues with this album. It's like, that is my only issue, is just the fact that, like, they put in half of a pre-existing EP into the album just to, like, take up space, it feels like. And that just, even though I like all of the songs, that just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And that's my only grievance with it. Like, other than that, I think it's great. I enjoy literally every song on it. I've been jamming to it literally every day for a week. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it. But every time I get to the middle of it, I'm like, I'm listening to half of an EP in the middle of an album. And then I have to, like, go and listen to the rest of the EP when I'm done with the album, because I feel like it's just weird. It's weird. Like, why do they do that? It's weird. I just want to know why they did that. And are other people confused like I am? I want to know.
See, well, I'll tell you how I felt, Tyler, because I was wondering where you guys had grievances, because as a person that does not listen to Paris and has very often heard people talk highly of Paris, and maybe I've heard them in passing once or twice, and, you know, like, I'm not an avid Paris fan. I heard you, like, because Brennan had given us his playlist, and then you said you were going to wait to give us your playlist until the Paris album dropped. And I was like, oh, yeah. I didn't know Paris was dropping an album. I don't listen to Paris. Maybe I'll finally get into Paris. And I don't listen to them so much. I only refer to them as Paris, because I was like, it's not that I don't respect them, but I was just like, I don't know about their music, so I'm just going to call them what I see. Paris. And, but, you know, so I didn't know that this was happening, that like these songs were past songs of theirs. And when I listened to from your playlist, it was just all dope as fuck. And I was like, cool, I love this. And I just was having a good old time with this album. However, now that you explain this to me, I'm a little peeved, because I'm not even committed to this. And I'm just like, that's pretty weak. I mean, honestly,
it just, like, they're all good songs. It's just, why would you do that? Like, it just feels cheap. I don't know.
Did they just... Were they like, ah, man, or we're not remembering, we can't come up with new songs, let's just take a couple and make our album a little longer.
That's what it feels like to me, and
Yeah.
I don't want to think that, because, like, I respect them so much, and I think that they're super talented, but, like, it would have been better, in my opinion, if they had just added the full EP into the middle of it, because then at least that would have made sense, or not put any of the songs from that EP in and just had it be a short album.
Yeah. Because you said it was, 3 songs?
Yeah, let me
Hallucinations, Death of Me, and Old Wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
3.
So it would have been 8
there are 2 other
long.
songs. The EP's 5 songs long. They left out a song called Nightmare and a song called Things Are Better.
Got you. Interesting, because, 8 songs is not like a disrespectful amount of songs to have on an album. Obviously, It's a little on the short side, but, it's not like it hasn't been done.
Right.
Yeah, but didn't this album get delayed twice?
It did get delayed twice.
Oh,
and,
it did
and
get delayed
the
twice.
fact that, I mean, granted, you do need a lot of time for, mixing and, I mean, I don't know if they'd be able to squeak out a couple more songs, in the time that it was delayed, but,
yeah.
It is kind of a slap in the face to see that they're just rehashing old stuff.
Yeah.
And of course they released some singles before this, and I thought the singles were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
yeah.
In an 11-song album, 3 of them were in an EP. I think 2 or 3 of them are singles. It only leaves you with 5 songs that are new.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of a recurring theme for pretty much all of the albums this month, is that most, if not all, in the case of Good Tiger, the songs were released previous to the album. For some reason, bands are just releasing higher and higher percentages of albums as singles, and I'm not really a fan of that personally. To me, it kind of, I don't know, it obviously I like getting to hear stuff early, but at the same time, when the album comes out and you've already heard 90% of it, it just makes it less of an experience when you listen to the full album. Because then I feel like I'm just listening to a bunch of shit I've already heard with a couple new songs sprinkled in. It's not really the same experience, And I felt that repeatedly with the large majority of albums that came out this month. And I thought that most of the albums that came out this month on all of our lists were incredible. It takes away from it a little bit when I've heard most of the music already as singles,
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm looking at my albums that I talked about, and I'm the live album, a lot of the music is just music we've heard before because it's a live album. The Freddie Dredd album, at least half of the songs were released as singles, and that album's really short too because all the songs are 1 minute to 2 minutes long. He makes
that album is 16 minutes long.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, all of his music's really short. And it's because, he's, like I said, he's a weird niche little area. But, a bunch of his shit, especially the longer ones, were released before the whole album dropped. I know, Tool, Necklace, Darko, they all dropped before. And those are, the ones that are, 3 minutes. And I'm that's the majority of your album, bro. And then with the Jacob Collier album, I was looking, 6 of the songs, not including the intro one that's, a minute, it's 6 of the songs on that album were new, and only 3 of the songs were full-length songs that were not a weird music interlude-y thing. It's crazy. And I hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 of the songs were released as singles leading up. And you know what I'm thinking? Maybe everyone's albums got delayed. And I'm not to get topical, but the world is in a place.
Right.
So maybe everyone kind of got pushed back a little bit, and everyone was well, we don't want people to forget about us, so they all released another single or 2 because they were don't forget this is coming out. Because maybe everyone went, well, maybe this will all blow over in a month, and then the sales will be normal again or something. And then it didn't, and then they're well, I guess we'll just release them. And
I mean, I know for a fact in the case of Stand Atlantic, because they posted on social media, like, when the lockdowns and stuff started happening, they had to, like, cancel their tour and everything. And they posted, like, a video and everything just kind of saying, like, everything is, like, so out of our control right now, and we just want to feel like we're in control of something. So every single month, like, for the duration of this lockdown until our album comes out, we're going to release a new song from the album. Gotcha. So, like, that's why half of their album was released as singles. Maybe other bands had, like, a similar thought process and approach to it.
Yeah.
I
know that one of the songs that Jacob Collier released leading up to the release, one of the singles he dropped, was actually a song that he came up with during the time that it got postponed, and it got added to the album as, like, an extra one. Like, and it's funny. It's what is it? He Won't Hold You. It's a really beautiful song. It was a single. I'm pretty sure I talked about it last month. I think it came out last month. Maybe the month before. I don't know. Whatever. And he wrote it in response to some of the stuff that was going on in the world. And it's really beautiful the way that, like, it speaks to everything going on. So, like, his situation is almost like he wrote a song to fill that space, you know? And it still was the majority of the songs, like there weren't a lot of songs left that he released. So, like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know. Because, like, you're right. There's definitely, like, a recurring theme right now with albums. And I'm wondering if maybe it's probably, like, a mix of, like, the world, and then people are also just like, here's a bunch of singles. Like, but, you know, just brainstorming, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll never know.
Let us know in the comments below if you know.
Yeah.
If you're the person who knows. If you're God, you could just tell us.
I was going to say, if you are the music
time
industry.
Traveler.
But, like, you are the time-traveling god of music industry. Can you let us know in the comments?
Now, I have one band that completely went against all of that and still did well, albeit granted they're pretty big.
Oh.
And that's Dance Gavin Dance.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they are one of the only ones this year who haven't.
Yeah, because they were like, screw it, we're just going to go ahead with it regardless of how shitty things are going to get.
Yeah.
And then they were still, like, topping Billboard numbers, too. Yeah. So, like, they killed it. They were like, fuck the world, you know?
Like, a lot of these other bands, like, I don't know if they'd be able to do that since they're not as big as Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah.
Like, I think Dance Gavin Dance has just such a devoted following to where it's like, we'll take somewhat of a hit.
Nah, right. Man. Corey Henry, the Funk Apostles, that's got a following, bro. It's big. It's big time.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, yeah, like, I get that. But I'm talking, like, Stan Atlantic, like, Slaves. Like, I mean, I don't know about Good Tiger, but, like a lot of these bands, like, they probably weren't too sure about, like, their album sales, while, like, Dance Gavin Dance was like, fuck it, send it.
You know what's weird, though? Now that I think about it, like, even the State Champs EP, and State Champs is, like, really fucking big, as far as pop punk goes, right? Yeah. Like, they're pretty much, like, the next one under Neck Deep as far as, like, popularity goes.
Yeah, I'd say, like, them, the story so far. Like, they're, like, top of the scene, pretty much.
You know, like, their EP was not long, because it's an EP. There were only 2 songs on the EP that were not singles before it dropped.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, that's like,
weird.
Like Kyle said, like, Jacob Collier had time to write a song and put it in his album. Why couldn't Paris?
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me irked, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, fucking pissed.
It's also, Jacob Collier works in a weird way where, like, he is, like, kind of his own producer of music. He's not really with a label. So that is also, like, maybe that has to do with it. Maybe the label had some kind of restraints on it. Where, like, this is what you gave us. Mm-hmm. Don't fuck with that. And they're like, but, like, they're all going to be singles. And they're like, it's a contract. Yeah. And, like,
I mean, so it probably does have to do a lot with the record labels, honestly. Like, it probably has to do more with what the record labels want the bands to be doing than what the bands want to be doing as far as, like, releasing a ton of singles. Because I feel like that's the only real explanation if, like, everybody is approaching it that way now. Yeah. Like, I feel like it kind of has to be an industry thing with, like, you know, how the record labels want to approach things other than like what the bands want.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's just a weird time because like obviously everything is weird. So like, not surprising at all for me to like, oh, I bet you the music industry is pretty weird right now too. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. It's time for our next segment. It's singles.
Oh boy.
And right off the bat, Conquer Divide is back, and I can't contain it any longer. I've wanted to talk about this since the day I found out that this was a thing, and Conquer Divide is back. Fuck. Conquer Divide is back.
They're back, baby.
I thought they were gone. They released one album in 2015 and then dropped off the face of the fucking planet, and they still exist apparently, and they're back, and they're good. And they have a brand new single called Chemicals, and it's really fucking good. And also, they did a cover of Bad Guy.
Yes, they did.
Which is also really good.
Tyler, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Billie Eilish yet?
Fucking course not.
I love that you haven't listened to Billie Eilish yet, and then a Billie Eilish song got covered by Conquer Divide, and you were like, yes!
I've heard Bad Guy at Sad Summerfest. We've talked about this before.
I know. It's just funny to me that...
Oh my gosh.
In that episode, I'm sure someone could find the clip of you saying, well, I'm going to have to give her a listen then. Because if you're saying it, then I guess I'll listen to her.
Yeah, I know. But so much new stuff has come out. I haven't had the time, Kyle.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about how
I haven't even had the time to listen to your new stuff.
We were just talking about how people have been putting out singles because there was more time than usual.
Yeah, but like, you know,
it's okay,
I'm a shitbag.
Tyler. You know,
you can't rely on me for anything.
I'll save you from your own little hole that you're in. It's okay. The Conquer Divide songs are so good.
The Bad Guy cover is really tasty, though.
It is, though.
Yes.
Those songs are so good, dude.
It's like I never knew I wanted a metal cover of Bad Guy, but I have it now, and it's fucking incredible.
If I was more musically inclined, I always wanted to make a cover of Bad Guy.
Hell yeah.
Did they do it how you envisioned it?
Close. very close. Like the breakdown at the end was like, I mean, if I were writing it, I probably would have like palm muted it a little more, but like I like how it just sounded like kind of dirty.
Yeah.
It's just like you could tell like they just went for like, we're just gonna like blow the lid off this place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like they did the whole song and there wasn't any unclean vocals, and I was like, well, it has to happen sometime, and then they just hit you with like the sick nasty breakdown at the end right before the song ends, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, like I always envisioned like after the first chorus, I wanted like the guy if we had like a vocal, like I said, like I had like all this shit like just churning in my head, but like I wanted the vocalist to like fry scream like right before like, you know, like I really don't know how to like say it, but it's like right after the first chorus is kind of like a little bridge that like starts the verse. Mm-hmm. I'm like, if they could just like fry scream that like because like it's just like the drums and like a little bit of like bass. I'm like, ew, that sounds so fucking nasty. But like they didn't do that, but like still like it just sounded so good. Like I preferred the cover over the single. Like not saying the single's bad, but like yeah, as far as Bad Guy or like Chemicals, like their other single, I was like I prefer Bad Guy.
I don't know. I'm on the fence about it because I like them both a lot, but I don't know. It's a toss up for me. I like them both. I'm just happy that Conquer Divide is back. That's really it for me. Like as long as I get more stuff from them, I'm just cool with it.
It's pretty dope.
It's like you don't it's a full female metalcore band. I mean, it's so fucking cool. Like you don't get that like ever. It's just I'm so happy they're back.
Hell yeah, dude. It feels like it's been so long since I've even heard those words be uttered. You know,
right?
Like, it's so weird, and it's funny. I saw them pop up in your guys' playlist, and I was like, "Oh, wow, huh?
Right."
It's been a minute because like I've never been like a huge Conquer Divide person, but like I know the name. It's pretty infamous. Like, and I'm like, "Oh wow, it's been a minute." It was dope. It's been a tasty minute because it was I like Chemicals was really cool. I mean, like, because obviously Bad Guy was like another song, whatever. But like, as far as like Chemicals, I really was digging it. I like I dig the way that they seem to be moving, you know, as a group. I don't really know how to describe exactly the way, but like I feel like they're kind of on a track to something that's going to be more in my vein than where they were. But
yeah, for sure. I mean,
we'll
it definitely feels more. I don't really know how to describe it either.
Yeah.
But like, it's not as like heavy, quote unquote, as like their original stuff. You know, like it still had unclean vocals, and like, you know, it still feels like metal, but like it's like new metal. You know, like it's kind of, to me, it's like kind of teetering toward the same vein as like Slaves, just like heavier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I could get that. I think that's a good way to describe it, of which I was trying to process and I couldn't forget always. Yeah, no. I definitely, it's like, it's heavy, but not the same heavy. Like, and it's a heavy that I think I might like a little bit more. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I dig it. I mean, I definitely can't wait to hear more stuff that they put out that sounds like this, because I really dig it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's coming next.
For sure. I'm like actively following them on social media now, just so that like whenever they release shit, I will know about it the second that it happens. Because like I didn't know that this shit came out until like a week after it happened. Because I'm pretty sure the single dropped on August 7th. So like I didn't know, because I was just listening to Stand Atlantic and Slaves to prep for those reviews the whole day. So anything else that came out just kind of went like under my radar.
Fair. I forgot to breathe that day on multiple occasions.
I know.
I was just like, it doesn't matter. Back seat, Slaves is more important.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Also, Brennan.
Yo.
You remember Sincerely?
I do.
Remember how much we fucking love Sincerely?
Yeah.
Now we jam that shit every time we're drunk. They released a new single too, and it has lyrics.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah, it was odd. I was not expecting to hear vocals, and I don't dislike it. I thought it sounded fine. I might have like preferred more tasty instrumental shit, because that's what I was expecting. But I still thought it was a pretty good song. I'm just glad that they're still making shit too.
Yeah, I actually didn't get a chance to listen to it before this, but because I mean, yeah, like every time we hang out, it's like, you know, we gotta play some Hip Hooray.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because that song,
it's like my anthem.
Like,
I mean,
that song was like top notch, bro. But I mean, shit, I'm out. Like you said, like singing, like what? Like I haven't heard it yet, so I'm curious.
It's like when Sean busts out lyrics every once in a blue moon, and it's just like, this is nice. This isn't what I came for, but I fuck with it. Like, it's kind of the same thing.
I feel like it adds another level, like, to that journey that we always talk about a song taking you on, especially with a band that like already does some really crazy stuff. It's just like that. It's like, ooh, this is new.
And it's like, I definitely won't say that it's like better than the shit we normally listen to from them, but I still like it. I still enjoyed it.
Hell yeah.
That's what the sound
comment on it? Okay.
I haven't listened to it, so I don't know.
No, I dig it. I don't listen to Sincerely as much as you guys, but like I know of it from when we've listened to it before.
Oh yeah.
Just in, you know, our drunk listenings.
Yeah.
So
anytime I'm drunk, Hip Hooray has to come on at least once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At least. That is like my drunk anthem. Like that and Pretty Boy Swag, basically. Depending on the crowd I'm in. Obviously I don't play that with you, but if I'm going clubbing with the boys back home, crank that shit in the car, I will be hyped up to go into the bar. So what are some singles that came out that you enjoyed?
Oh my god.
My dudes.
Oh, dude.
Well,
Brennan, do you want to go next? Because
I mean, Brennan, you and I had a lot of singles on both of our playlists, I noticed.
Oh, I have a shit ton, dude.
do you know what single that was on both of yours that I noticed that I liked a lot?
What?
Tell me.
It was Jericho.
Oh, the Normandy song.
Normandy.
Yeah,
that's an alright song. I like other Normandy songs a lot better, but I just like Normandy in general, so
I don't know
had
who they
to
are.
toss it on the list.
So I was like, this is pretty cool. And he said Jericho, really weird. So I was like, this is pretty neat.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
kind of what that's like my grievance with it is like I don't really like the way he says that. I kind of just want to go listen to their other stuff.
Jericho. And I was like, oh, wow, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's in a good way, but like musically, the rest of it's pretty dope, so I'll take it.
It kind of sounds like he's saying cherry cola.
I 100% agree.
That is so accurate.
Like if the song wasn't called Jericho, I would definitely think he was saying cherry cola.
I can't wait to hear that song again, and then my brain immediately go to that. It's like whenever Radioactive was popular by Imagine Dragons, and everyone thought it was something else. Like, like there was like the lore of like, what is he saying? What is it? And now I'm always gonna hear Cherry Cola. Thank you, I appreciate it, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good old Normandy.
Well, because I remember like when I was listening to it the first time, I was like, what is he saying there? Being a dumbass and then not realizing what the song was called, and I looked back over, I was like, oh, it's the name of the song.
Oh man!
And then I jumped out of my window.
Close. Yeah.
Oh
man!
It's you're not saying something good enough when you have to look at the word to know what you're singing.
I think that's more of just me being an idiot than them doing a bad job with pronouncing the word.
I mean,
well, obviously, like they're French,
right?
Does that have something to do with Jericho?
Well, I mean, how they spell Normandy like shows that they're French.
Okay.
Obviously. I totally knew that.
I literally I've never even heard this.
This is not the first time I'm here knowing that they're French. I'm a real fan. Fuck off.
Oh my gosh.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, and then because I wasn't sure. Like I saw how they spelled it, and I'm like, okay, they might be a French band. And then like I looked it up, and I'm like, yeah, they're definitely a French band. And like whenever I heard he says Jerry Go, like fucking Cherry Coke. I'm like, yeah, he's obviously fucking foreign. There's no way.
That does make a lot more sense.
But yeah, there was
Cherry Cola.
Yeah, you guys were like you guys were like shitting on him, and I'm like, you realize he's not like American, right? Like he's.
It doesn't matter. Say it correctly.
Of course, he's not going to say words like the right way.
Say it my way or the highway, please, Scout.
But, anyways, let's try to talk about some of these other singles.
Yeah. There were two other singles, I think at least two other singles that we had on both of our lists. Because Makari released a new single, which I didn't know you listened to Makari.
I mean, like, I remember, like, you showed me him, or, like, I remember you played him one time we were drunk.
Oh,
and I was like, that's kind of tasty.
I don't remember that, but I believe you.
And then, on the Poolside Podcast Discord, I saw someone was talking about him, and I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. And then, like, I looked him up, and I listened to him, and I'm like, yeah, Tyler showed me these guys, or this guy, or these guys, or whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, it's a band.
But
their vocalist does, like, I feel like he does vocal features in like a million things. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, like because I mean I can't remember his name, but I remember like looking at the band, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah, he's definitely like done other shit before.
Yeah, as far as that, I mean, yeah, we both got Makari or whatever, and then we both have the new Secrets single.
Yeah,
called Ironhearted, which I feel like Secrets is kind of underrated.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I didn't even get into them until, like, this year, and, like, I feel bad for not getting into them until this year. Like, I could have seen them at Warped the last year that Warped was a thing, and I didn't, because I didn't listen to them back then. And now, who knows if I'll ever get to see them, but they're, like, super fucking good. Like, I love Secrets, like, so much.
I mean, hey, well, if they ever come back around, we'll definitely check them out, because I'd like to see them live.
Yeah.
I was never like the biggest fan of them, but like after like this single came out, and I went back and like re-listened to their stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they got kind of looked over a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Compared to like other like bigger name bands.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ironhearted, good ass song. Fucking check it out.
For sure.
Also, I have there's a band called Movements, which they're coming out with an album soon. I really, really liked their first album. It was called Feel Something. And man, it made you feel something. Like the songs made you feel sad. Songs like were like uplifting spirits. Like they really nail emotion.
Mm-hmm.
However, on this track, not so much. Like they had a song that came out last month I had on my list, and it was called "Don't Give Up Your Ghost." And
yeah,
like,
I remember that one.
Yeah, like that one I feel is better than this newer one. Because like this newer song, like the vocalists, like his vocals are like the driving force of the song, but then like sometimes like the instrumental is just kind of like overtake him. But still a good track. You know, I'm not dissing on anything. There's one song I remember I told Tyler about. It's called "I'm Gonna Tell My Therapist on You."
Yeah.
By a band called Pink Shift.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I was digging it.
I mean, I liked it, but it was weird.
I digged it, but I have one major complaint. And I kind of know the guy that like records all of their shit. I mean, I don't like know him, but like I've like talked to him before, like through Poolside. And I have yet to ask him this, but like their mixing is like kind of awful. Because like the vocalist
just like call this dude out.
I mean, well, I'm gonna ask him about it. I'm gonna be like, hey man, like, why is the vocalist like turned down so low? Because the instrumentals just fucking overpower her like so hard, and like I get like I was actually like listening to like he had a video he put up of like them like recording, and it's like yeah, like her voice gets like really loud, but like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
But like everything else, like it sounded good, but like I said, I don't know why the vocals are like so quiet compared to like the rest of the track. Yeah, I dig that song. I think it's pretty good. And apparently, I guess they're like making an album, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
What
the fuck was "Love in My Pocket"?
Oh yeah,
oh the fucking Rich Brian.
That was so awesome.
I'm just like in the midst of like a cesspool of deathcore, and then I get hit with that, and I'm like, where am I? Like,
Yeah,
this does not fit the mood.
So, Rich Brian, because I like the song.
I mean, I liked it too. It was just so out of left field.
Well, Rich Brian is a rapper that Christian showed me.
Oh, okay.
And I guess his name used to be Rich Chigga.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, due to like reasons, he's changed his name to Rich Brian. But yeah, I mean, but like this song was like, because usually he has like rap, like he does like a lot of like rap stuff. Like this one was just like a tasty jam. But yeah, dude, fucking Rich Brian. Yeah, apparently, I think he's coming out with a new album too at some point.
I've heard of him before because he's on the same label as Joji.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's part of 88 Rising's label, and he's like done some stuff with Joji.
I was about to say, aren't they on a song together or something?
Yeah. I can't remember what is it. There is definitely a song that they were on together, but because like 88 Rising like release albums sometimes where it's like an album from a bunch of their song like people working together.
Oh,
So,
they have a couple songs together.
Yeah.
They have Introvert off of Amen, and then they have Where Does the Time Go?
No, yeah. Yeah, no, he's pretty good though. I've heard him on a couple of different things, and I've also seen him on Twitter. Oddly enough, a couple times, people I follow retweet him randomly. So when I saw Rich Brian come up in your playlist, I was like, oh, wow, okay, cool, I'm down. Let's do it. I liked it.
Dude.
The song was really cool. It was really weird, but like in a good way.
Yeah, I liked it. Like, I kind of want to listen to it again, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just remember like I heard it and I'm like, what, did it come out in August? Like that was my first thought. Is I'm like, I'm definitely putting that shit in there. Just because I thought it was good. I'm like, damn, all right.
It was good. I liked it a lot. I just was not expecting it to be on your playlist. It like just didn't fit at all, and it was fantastic.
Oh but yeah, I gotta throw some I gotta break up the flow a little bit. But yeah, I got it. Although there's one single, all right. The one single that I was really looking forward to. All right. There's a band that I've been a big fan of since they came out with an album called When We Don't Exist in 2012. It's either 2011 or 2012. And that band's called like Moss to Flames.
Oh, yeah.
And they came out with a song called Habitual Decline.
Mm-hmm.
And man, is it good. It's
I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, well, them, and then there's another band called Era that came out with a song called Snowblood. And like those are probably like my two like top singles of the month. Like Monster Flames, like they've kind of fallen off. They had a record come out in 2015 that I wasn't like a big fan of, and then they had another album come out in 2017 called Dark Divine. That's like, it's kind of underrated, but like it's like underrated, but like it kind of deserves it.
Damn.
Like I don't know how else to put it. Like some people like really fuck with it, and then like a bunch of people like don't fuck with it. So it's like, where do we put it? You know. So this album that's coming out, it's like kind of like their comeback.
Gotcha.
And they're even like marketing it as such. So I'm really looking forward to it. And like the single was really good. It's a good step in the right direction. So I'm hoping the album's just like as fucking tasty.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've shown me like their older shit in the past, and I've always thought it was like pretty good. They're one of those bands that I never really went out of my way to like listen to more of them. I think part of that is because like the one time I did, it was like from their newer stuff, and it just didn't sound the same, and I was just kind of confused, and then I like just didn't listen to them anymore, you know. But
yeah, because they're like their next two albums. I think one's called like The Dying Things We Live For. The other one's called The Dark Divine or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're mixed fucking horribly. like mixing is like a big deal to me. Like mixing and like how things are like recorded, and like the mixing and like the compression of like the guitars, like it doesn't sound like full. It sounds like everything's just like fucking condensed. Like I'm listening to it in like a fucking like pop can or something. But yeah, both those two albums, like I don't know, they just don't strike me very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey, here's to hoping.
They can't all be bangers.
Yeah, they can't all be bangers. Or as Primus would say, they can't all be zingers.
Hey.
Good old Primus.
Damn, that's old school.
Guys, do you know what time it is?
Kyle,
It's
what time is it?
It's hold on, it's 10:24 p.m. Eastern
Holy
time.
shit!
Wow, you really gave it away, huh? When we were recording
Well,
this?
you asked, so I was just helping our brother out, you know.
Well, thank you.
We've been doing this like forever now.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
yeah,
I mean,
it's been a solid 2 hours.
yeah.
So much of this is getting cut.
Yeah, no. It's fine. So anyway, you know what time it is?
I just told you it's 10:24.
Yeah, I know. You told me it's time for me to talk about the YouTubers that dropped singles this month.
Oh, enjoy my favorite part of the day.
Oh my god! I just read the funniest tweet.
It's obviously his favorite part of the day too, because he's reading Twitter.
Immediately tunes out to go check Twitter.
I had a notification. I wanted to check it real quick.
So you guys know what time it is?
Kyle, what fucking time is it?
It's 10:25 now because you keep asking me.
10:25, baby. And you know what
shit.
10:25 means? 10:25 means time for me to talk about the YouTubers that dropped singles this month. It's time for my YouTube segment. Oh boy,
Hit the intro.
there it is. Cool.
It's now
we
your
did it.
responsibility to make us a little mini theme song for Kyle's YouTube corner, whatever the fuck this is.
Kyle's YouTube corner. Welcome. Come take a seat with me,
Oh my gosh.
Kyle Steinley, as I take you in to my YouTube corner. All right. Anyways, so
Kyle, shut the fuck up.
anyways, my YouTube
Welcome
corner.
to YouTubing with Kyle Steinley.
YouTube.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
YouTube, YouTube, iTube, we all tube for Tube Tunes with Kyle Steinley.
Wow.
Jesus.
I love the build up. And cool. So I have a question again. Do you guys know who
Is it what time is it? Because it's 10:26 now.
Have you ever heard of the guitarist known as Jason Richardson?
Yeah, he used to
very
be in Chelsea
generic.
Grin.
He did indeed.
He used to be in
Born of
Chelsea
Osiris.
Grin, Born of Osiris.
Now he's in All That Remains.
And he also did some stuff for Polyphia.
He did indeed. He's a lovely guitarist. And he collaborated with Family Jewels this month to make the iconic fairy fountain theme from Zelda, which was absolutely incredible. It was just a blessing upon my ears. You could say a fairy blessing. So, yeah, I know. Thanks. It's awesome though, because that tune is like super iconic. Like it's just one of those tunes that you hear and you're like, oh yeah, Zelda. And it was dope that they did it. It was really cool. Family Jewels also collaborated with Insane in the Rain Music, a guy I've talked about before. He does like jazz covers of video game music. Together they did Red Streamer Battle, which is the tune to one of the battle themes from the new Paper Mario game, Origami King, which I heard was
everyone
okay.
hates that game.
Yeah, I heard it was mixed, which is unfortunate, but whatever. Yeah, the songs were cool in it though, because Red Streamer Battle was dope. I liked the tune. It was cool. It has saxophone, which is why Insane in the Rain music is there, which is cool. Speaking of Insane in the Rain music, he released some more tunes this month for his Year of Sinnoh that I mentioned before last month. The ones that I have picked to put on my playlist are the Lake Guardian battle theme, like where you fight Azelf, Mesprit, and Yuxi.
The worst legendary trio.
You're not wrong, but damn is that tune slappy. Seems to be a trend with these songs. Anyways, not great in context, but damn are the songs cool. It's funny, Tyler, because like all these songs are super nostalgic to me, and you haven't played these Pokemon games. So like,
I know.
It's like the worst time for me to put.
It's weird because I love that generation so much, but yet I haven't actually played the games myself.
Yeah, which we'll fix. It'll happen. And to round out my YouTube corner, I guess that's what it's called, is the sweet, lovely man, Jonathan Young.
I love Jonathan Young. Didn't he do a cover of like the My Hero song from
He
season
did.
4?
He did it. He did a cover of Hero 2 from season 4 of My Hero Academia, and
I liked the actual song, so I'm sure I would love the Jonathan Young cover. But
Indeed.
I haven't gotten around to listening to it.
They are both great versions. I liked the original too. Somebody else that did a cover of it, which isn't this month. It was actually the month before we started doing this, and I was like, damn, I want to talk about this, but like this kind of gives me a segue to talk about it. Nate Wants to Battle did a cover of it, and it was really good. He did it with like a collaboration with like a female rock singer and another dude rock singer, and it's really good because like the chorus is still female, but like it's her own take on it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that concludes my YouTube corner. There it is. You're welcome.
Just big ol' heckin' round of applause.
I know.
For the thing. Alexa, give him a round of applause. I hope that just made everyone's Alexas go off and give him... You're getting applause from all tens and tens of people who are watching this.
I'm throwing tomatoes at you. Boo.
Thank you. I hate tomatoes.
Good, even better.
To round out my singles, because they weren't all just YouTube singles. There was a couple others.
There was a couple Twitch singles too. Ladies, welcome to the Twitch corner.
Where the fuck?
The opposite corner of the room is the Twitch corner. Play the intro.
Welcome to Tyler's Twitchy Corner.
Come Twitch in my corner with Tyler.
Come Twitch in the corner with Tyler. That's Twitchy Tyler over there for you. Man, no, the other
son of a Twitch.
My other songs of which I liked. You remember earlier we were talking about Joji? That was cool. That single that we were talking about that Tyler doesn't like, but actually hasn't listened to all of yet, is called Daylight.
He
featuring
peaked his
Diplo.
pink guy. Don't make real music. I want watermelon pussy too.
Stop. No, nobody needs that.
Everyone needs that.
I
Fucking
think he's
pink
peaking
guy
now.
was a music master, and he's downgraded himself.
No, stop. Tyler, Joji's
shut
better
the
than
fuck
Pink
up.
Guy. I'm saying it, Tyler. I'm making my stand.
He will never write a better song than Top Shelf Ramen or whatever the fuck that was.
So wrong.
You're so good you can't remember the name of it. It's cool.
It was a good song, though.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I think Joji's better than Pink Guy. Just saying.
Pink guy slaps, but Joji,
though. But yeah, no, the song Daylight, it's really cool. It's like really like kind of just happy. I don't know how else to describe it. It was just kind of upbeat and cool. Diplo, I haven't heard that name in a while, so that was interesting to see him working with Joji of all people. I thought that was neat. Yeah, the song was kind of cool. I digged it. I also had singles come out this month from Kill Bill the Rapper and Rav. I love those sweet rapping boys. The one song came out on August 1st, which was surprising to me. It was a single from Kill Bill featuring John Average, I think is his name. I don't know who it is. But it's just another guy that I've never heard of before, but it was pretty good. But the song that was really good was Kill Bill, Rav, and Square, the guy that I've mentioned before that they work with, released a song called Devilman. That song is really good. One of my favorite songs I'm gonna say they've ever released. It's pretty dope. I think it's pretty cool. All right, boys, I'm gonna round off my singles by hitting you with arguably the song that I've listened to the most this month, single-wise. Mainly because it's been stuck in my head. Thus, I've listened to it cognitively many times. And it's from a little game called Fall Guys. Everyone's heard of Fall Guys, obviously. I wouldn't ask you if you knew what Fall Guys was.
Fall Guys?
Fall Guys is a game that if you haven't seen it, you're stupid. It's a battle royale, but it's Wipeout, the TV show. That's all I got.
And the people are jelly beans.
They're little jelly bean people, and it's just the cutest game, and the music's really cute and like almost like Splatoon-esque if you know Splatoon music. But the main theme of that game slaps too hard. It is like it basically has the same energy as that video where like the dude in the cat costume like is just going ham on the drums. It is that energy.
Where it's like the drummer's like overqualified or whatever.
A more accurate statement has never been said.
It is literally that. Like the bass just like gets so fucking crazy heavy and I'm like, what's happening? And then like it's just like rave music and I'm like, this is incredible. And it plays every time I turn on the fucking game. And I love it. If you haven't checked out Fall Guys, play it. It's good. Go check out the Fall Guys theme if you haven't heard already. What the frick are you doing? It's super good. It's a jam. It's a bop. It's a party. Throw it on at your big old college parties that you shouldn't be having. Damn you. Put your mask on. Anyways, what else? What songs do you guys have in your singles?
Oh man. Isn't that like pretty much it?
That's pretty much it. I mean, we covered everything on my list pretty much.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there's new hands like How's This Song that I didn't hate, but I mean, nothing will
okay.
ever be the same as Ground Dweller, so I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I briefly mentioned a song called Snowblood by Era, but it's pretty good. Go check it out.
Guys, this was a month. Quite the month.
Yeah,
Like-
this month was fucking loaded.
Yeah, like compared to last month, I remember getting your guys' list and I was like, oh, like 2 hours. Okay, cool. And then this one, like mine was over 4 hours. Both your guys were over 3 hours. And I was like, oh.
Oh, mine is sitting at 4 hours, 4 minutes right now.
Yeah, because you
I
added
feel
stuff
like mine-
after I listened.
Wasn't that long. Let me check.
Yeah, I added it because like whenever I saw in Tyler's he had Good Tiger, I'm like, wait a minute, I forgot all about them.
Oh, yeah, mine's 3 hours, 17 minutes. And I only added like half of most of the albums, so...
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Just
It was loaded
too
month.
much stuff came out this month, I would say.
Never too much, Tyler. Never too much.
It's true. Watch, next month it'll probably be like literally nothing, and this will be like a 5-minute long podcast.
Yeah, I know. But like, I mean,
so much shit came out this month. Like, how could anything even possibly come out next month? I guess we'll find out.
Just like next month we get on, like, I heard the ESPN music today. That was pretty cool. Like,
Well,
Fucking Sports Center dropped an EP.
wow. I want Skip Bayless just to rap over the fucking ESPN.
Dude, could you imagine like Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp on like a fucking track? Like that'd be hilarious.
Oh my god. I mean, Shaq already does music, doesn't he? I mean,
Yeah, he's a DJ.
Yeah, he's the whole meme. So, I mean, they could do it.
so boys,
Calling you out, Sports Center, make an EP.
Oh my god.
boys, we need to make our picks for Song of the Month.
Oh, boy.
Who would like to go first?
Definitely not me.
I'll go first.
All right, Kyle.
Yeah, I'll go first this month. Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you what. Are we doing both Song of the Month and Album of the Month right now, or are we?
I mean, I guess just based on the scope of how much shit came out this month, I'll allow it.
Okay, yeah. We'll just hit them with both. Well, if I had to pick a Song of the Month, I'm gonna pick Devilman by Rav, Kill Bill the Rapper, and Square. I thought it was pretty dope. I really liked that a lot. If I had to go by just the amount I've heard it in my brain, that'd be the Fall Guys theme. But, that's just because it's catchy. It's also good, but, I think Devilman's probably my favorite one of my singles that came out this month. Check that one out. And albums wise, it's gotta be the Jacob Collier Jesse Volume 3. That whole thing is just on another level. It's incredible. Definitely check it out. Super good.
Good shit, man. Brennan.
Hells yeah.
What about you?
Well, my top single of the month, for me, it's been a bit of a toss-up between Habitual Decline by Like Moss to Flames and Snowblood by Era. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to stick to Habitual Decline by Like Moss to Flames, because I feel like with Era, like they just signed on like a new label. Like this song's supposed to signify like, you know, them stepping in a new direction. So yeah, I dig it, but I'm really looking forward to Like Moss to Flames, and plus the song fucking slapped. So I'm gonna pick Habitual Decline. So if you haven't heard it, check it out. As far as albums, damn,
That's so
many choices, right? Man. Like...
So many choices. Probably my personal favorite was the Slaves album, but however,
yeah,
we did, you know, a power ranking / review of that album.
That could still be your favorite album of the month.
Yeah,
it could still be. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. It was, I mean, there were so many good things. Like I said, like Yokai from Within Destruction, like that album was insane, like just dumb heavy. And then like the EP from Diamond Construct, DCX2, I thought was incredible. But I mean, the Slaves record, like it just, I'm really looking forward to where they go from here. I was afraid that they were gonna like release too many singles beforehand. However, like they released them like with so much time between, and you know they were just so happy to have like a new singer and be heading in a new direction. Like I can't really fault them for, you know, doing how they did it. And a good chunk of the songs that they didn't release early, like I just fuck with. Like the album, it's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Like I envisioned it, and it just was. And I was just so happy for that. And I can't recommend it enough. You know, Two Better Days by Slaves. Apparently they're changing their name. So we always joke that, you know, we could probably buy their merch now.
Yeah. So for me, much to the surprise of no one, I mean, I have to pick Pink Elephant as my album of the month. I mean, I'm the resident Talks a Lot Boys Stan Atlantic fanboy. If I didn't pick that, it would be against my contract to be alive, probably. So I gotta go with that. And obviously, we did a whole heckin' review of that, so go check that out if you haven't checked it out already. And for single of the month, also much to no one's surprise, I'm gonna go with Chemicals by Conquer Divide, because Conquer Divide is back, and I can't get over that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah. So that's our albums and songs of the month. Boys, do you have anything in particular before we wrap this up? I know it's been a long one, but is there anything coming up in the month of September that you guys are anticipating? Or did literally everything come out this month?
There is something, Tyler. There is something.
All right, lay it on me.
All right, so as we've stated before, what time it is, the date today is also the 3rd of September. On the 4th of September, in specifically an hour and 6 minutes, Matt Watson of Super Mega is putting out his first EP.
What?
Yes. The EP is called Ouch. And it's coming out.
Does he have the song about fucking his dad on it? Is that going to be on there?
No. This is like, he was like, I kind of want to try making like actual music. And he made an EP, and it's coming out tonight.
That's interesting.
I'm very excited to listen to it. I don't know what it's going to be like. I have no idea what kind of music's going to be like. It seems like it's very going to be like weird, like chill wave, electronic kind of stuff. I don't know what it's going to be, but you know, something like that seems like maybe. So that's really interesting, intriguing to me. I'm excited about it.
We're definitely going to have to talk about that on the next episode, because I'm intrigued also. I'm absolutely going to have to listen to that just because.
It's Matt Watson. I
know. I like Matt Watson. I didn't know. Yeah. I listened. Did he mention that on the podcast or anything? I didn't even know.
I think he's talked about making music before on the podcast, but I know he said it like in episodes of stuff too. So
gotcha.
I'm on their Patreon, and I know he's talked about it a good bit on there. So maybe it's been predominantly there that I've heard from it. But there's that. And then my other big one that I know is coming out next month that I'm really excited about is a band that I've really never talked about before on this podcast. It is a band called Twerp, otherwise known as Tupperware Remix Party.
The fuck?
So they are a band that often tours with a band that I have talked about before, Ninja Sex Party. And Twerp is how do I describe it? They are funky. They are cool. I don't really know what genre they really are. It is so their lead singer is he does everything talkbox. So it's all like real like funky talkboxy music, and it's really cool. And everything is just like really like almost like an 80s like crime duo, exciting music, car chase kind of music. All of it. Like it's really cool. It's really interesting. It's all really like uplifting and like good vibes all around. The one album they released in the past called Body Image, and like it's all just about like body positivity, but like it's all over like really cool tunes, and I'm like, this is cool as fuck. And I get down. I tell you what, I get down with some good old talk box. So yeah, I love that band. I've always loved that band a lot, and I'm excited to hear them make new music. It's been a hot minute, so ready for it. It's coming out, I think September like 12th or something like that. It's in the teens, I think. I can't remember exactly because they just announced it like 3 days ago, and I was like, oh, yes, something's coming out in September because I didn't know of anything else that was coming out this month other than Matt Watson. So, but yeah, I'm pumped about it.
So Kyle has two not real people releasing music. Brendan, do you have anybody?
Coming from the guy that hasn't listened to either of my playlists. Wow.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but sure.
Calling out my people that you haven't even given a chance of listening to before.
Well,
What do you guys
listen
got
to Matt
coming
Watson
up?
all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Talking,
Yes.
not making music.
Yep. I haven't listened to make music either. That's why I'm excited. But yeah. What do you guys got coming out in the next month?
Brendan, what do you got? You got anything?
Well, there's two albums that I know of, and one that I can't seem to find the information, but one of them, of course, is that band called Movements that I mentioned, with their single that came out this month called Skin to Skin. So I'm looking forward to that. Both the singles sounded pretty good. I'm hoping that they can match the level that they had with Feel Something, because that album is just incredible. Mm-hmm. And it really does make me feel something every time I listen to it. Now, the other album, I had a single of theirs on the last month, and I have two of them on this month, and that's a band called Alpha Wolf.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they're coming out with one, I think it's on September 18th. I think I just looked them up. September 25th. And like Akudama and like Bleed For You. Like Bleed For You is like a little bit softer, but like Akudama, like they fucking get after it. And like I'm really looking forward to see, what they're coming out with, because like it's raw. It's like they even on the Facebook page they say some might find it honest, others may find it crude. And I'm like, I totally get that kind of vibe. And like I'm really looking forward to hearing that record. Other than that, when it comes, and I'll put it on my next month.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, it's gonna be. I'm hoping to a good month, a good September.
Yeah, I've only got like one album on my radar for September, which is there's this band called Yours Truly that I listen to. They're from Australia. Very much in the same vein and the same scene as like Stand Atlantic. Just like less punky, I guess. But they're putting out their like debut album this month. Like they have an EP, but they don't have like an actual album out yet. And I have one of the singles that they released this month on my playlist for this month. But yeah, their album comes out on the 18th. So that'll be fun. I'm not like hotly anticipating it, but like it's coming out, so I'm gonna listen to it because I do like them. Other than that, I don't know if anything else is going to be coming out, but I'm sure I'll get hit with some fun singles here and there. Hopefully more Conquer Divide. That'd make me happy.
Heck yeah.
So Yeah.
Maybe next month we'll make up for the fact of how big this month was.
Right, yeah, maybe next month we can just chill the fuck out for a second. Maybe, like, now that everyone on the planet has gotten all their stuff out, maybe we could just chill for just a second next month.
Just a hot second.
Yeah.
Just a month, maybe.
Yeah, just a month.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for this installment of This Month in Music. If you enjoyed this podcast, please let us know by giving this video a big ol' like, a big ol' thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let us know what stuff came out for you this month, if you liked any of our stuff, if we introduced you to anything. We got all of our playlists of new music down below in the description, so you can go check out all the songs and all the albums that we talked about today. And if you want to hear more of us, consider subscribing to the Talks a Lot Boys. We do this every month. We have album reviews, song rankings, the Tippity Top podcast, where we rank various things. So if you just like hearing our voices, we got a lot more of our voice on the interwebs, on this old YouTube channel. So consider go check us out, and we would appreciate all of the support. You can also check us out on social media. We got all the things. If you just search for the Talks a Lot Boys, you'll find us. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, we've been the Talks a Lot Boys, and we'll talk a whole lot more next time.
See ya.
Peace out.
Goodbye.